actually, speaking of the fever of the Princess and the Frog, to kind of bring this energy of New Orleans and all that kind of stuff, how do you, I don't know, what was the beginning stages of it, and what was the kind of, how do you keep this momentum of capturing New Orleans properly?
Well, one of the first things was really going to New Orleans. Neither one of us had been there, and we were setting the movie in New Orleans.
It was John Lasseter's idea to set the movie in New Orleans, and that's his favorite city in the world. And it was Walt Disney's favorite city, too.
And once we had pitched the movie, though, he said, you got to go there before you write a word of this. So we actually went down 3 years ago. We went to Jazz Fest, which is this yearly festival of music, and we got to hear Zydeco perform in gospel. It's a great, have all these sounds coming at you from every different angle. We toured cemeteries with the Voodoo Priestess. We went to the bayou and fed the alligators marshmallows with Reggie, our Cajun tour guide, and we went to the Garden District.
And that was a great trip. And then we've had several trips back since then.
Rode a Mardi Gras float.
We took our whole crew, or the sort of heads of every department down for Mardi Gras a couple years ago, and took a lot of pictures, and we got to ride a float. And then we've been back since. We went with John Lasseter, where Randy Newman and Dr. John were down there. We recorded the song down in New Orleans.
Yeah, we had musicians down there.
And so we've kept in touch with the city, and it's a very inspirational city. And we've also watched it sort of progress a little bit from Katrina, and it has made some progress, but it's been slow. Things seem to move slower down there than would be ideal.
But we really wanted to make New Orleans like a character in the movie and really kind of distill the experience. So somebody who hasn't been there would say, hey, I'd like to go there, and they get sort of a feeling of the overall town and the kind of unique magic. We thought a fairy tale set in New Orleans was great just because it's the most unique city in America with all its cross-cultural influences with France and Spain, who used to run it for a while.
And it has magic.
Yeah, voodoo just around the corner, yes. We went to a voodoo emporium there while we were there and saw all the tchotchkes in there. It was
Did you get your...
We did. We were with Maggie Malone, our development executive, and she had her reading done by a man with purple hair there in Jackson Square, and we said, do you see, a big hit movie in holiday of 2009? And he said yes, so we know it must be true.
One of the nicest things about the character, the princess, she wants to open a restaurant, and food is so important to her. I mean, that's pretty cool, because I think the older school classic princesses, they aspired to escape from with a man, and here she is.
Yeah, she has no dreams of romance, our princess. Yeah.
In contrast with her friend Charlotte LaBeouf, who is kind of prince and princess obsessed and kind of shows the danger.
Yeah, we were saying Charlotte has seen too many episodes of The Bachelor, and she TiVos it every week, and Tiana has no time for that, and she's got this dream of really this business, opening this business, a dream she's carried for her whole life. Really.
Yeah, and she's working really, really hard, and that sort of sets her apart, I think, from the other princesses.
What other things do you feel is kind of modernized or updated from previous Disney movies with women as a female that you've changed for this new generation to
Well, part of that love story is that the fact that it isn't love at first sight. Certainly Little Mermaid even was love at first sight. But this one they really have
to be, but
grow together. They have to fall in love over the course of this movie.
And then it's really interesting that they actually fall in love as frogs. So it isn't about their superficial kind of the way they look. They really kind of fall in love with the inner person, the person inside, as they get to know them better. I think that's maybe
obviously
a truer...
her being African American is the first for Disney and sort of something they've never done, a challenge for us. Likewise, even within the making of the film, we did a sequence, her sort of big song, Almost There, we got to do in a very stylized way. It's based on the artwork of Aaron Douglas, who was an artist in the Harlem Renaissance. But it's very graphic and very different from the rest of the film, but it was cool to drop a sequence like that in a film. We've never really done that before, and pull you into this sort of imaginary world of Art Deco.
And the music and the songs, they're not really modern. They sort of echo the music and styles of New Orleans in the 1920s, but what Randy has done with the music, I think it's very different from the other musicals. He brings a completely different quality, and he grew up in New Orleans. He spent summers there. That's the music that he loves, and he's very, very familiar with all those styles of music, and so that I think brings a fresh aspect to it.
It was actually fun. We worked with a choreographer on this movie. We actually shot live action reference all those dance numbers, and Betsy Betos, our choreographer, is an expert on eccentric dance of the 20s, so she really helped map out all those sequences with Facilier and with Mama Odie and Almost There, all those things. She really brought something to it that the animators could then study and embellish, and that was fun, and something we'd never done on that scale before.